Welcome to our channel. On today's video, we're going to be comparing Jacksonville, the Duval baby, to Miami, the 305. There is a massive rivalry between these two cities. Let's start off by looking at Miami, the tropical paradise of Florida, known for amazing Latin food, some of the safest suburbs, nightlife. You can dance music till like 2 in the morning. Leave your wallet on a table, safe. We even live stream Miami at night, never had a problem. Known for its amazing Latin food and also for being a safe place for tourists. It is one of the most incredible tourist destinations with an easy to follow street grid pattern and one of the most incredible skylines in the country. How can Jacksonville even attempt to go up against Miami? What does Jacksonville have to offer? Well, for one, the beaches of Jacksonville are accessible, they're not crowded, it's much more affordable, there's not as much traffic, you don't have to deal with so many tourists. When you look at football teams, the Jacksonville Jaguars have the best uniforms. And there's famous American bands from Jacksonville, like Leonard Skinner, who sang the famous Sweet Home Florida. Oh wait, you were singing about Alabama. Well, you better shut up, because Trick Daddy was talking about born and raised in the county of Dade. Was that Rick Ross? Because both of them were saying it. Oh, maybe it was D.H. Khaled. Oh, maybe it was Trina. Oh, maybe, hold on, just maybe it was the 2 Live Crew. Oh, but hold on, there's more. Maybe it was Pitbull who said it. Maybe all of them said that, son. Ain't nobody in Florida talking about no Alabama. When it comes to beaches, Jacksonville is one of the most natural cities in the entire country with amazing wildlife, easy access to beaches. Miami, on the other hand, can you even get into a beach in Miami? I've never even been to a beach in Miami because finding a parking spot is that difficult. So here's where things on this list are gonna get kind of weird. Yes, Jacksonville on one hand has accessible beaches, but Miami has clear water beaches, if you can even get on them. Miami beaches are known throughout the entire world, so it's hard to sit here and politic that Jacksonville has better beaches simply because they're accessible when Miami's beaches are known throughout the entire world. This list is not going to be easy, and I know feelings are going to get hurt, but when it comes down to desirability, beaches in Miami can be $1,000 plus to stay on the water. I recently stayed on the beach in Jacksonville for less than $200 a night, which means that there's much more interest in wanting to stay in Miami than there is in Jacksonville. So despite the fact that Jacksonville has more accessible beaches and they are nice and quiet and you can get a nice parking spot and actually be able to enjoy it a whole lot more than Miami Beach, when you look at prices of hotels on the water, the ones in Miami go for 5 times more. They're obviously a bigger attraction. Let's talk about vibes. So both of these cities are vibrant cities. Jacksonville has incredible beaches, and it's a very laid-back southern city. It is one of my favorite cities in the Deep South. Jacksonville offers a very mellow, easygoing vibe, almost nostalgic. While most people consider hood vibes a bad thing, my experience is that hood vibes are actually a good thing for a city. It gives a place character, and a lot of people actually seek that out. If you're not into that, you may not get it, but a lot of people actually like hood vibes. They like neighborhood feels. They like corner stores and all that. People actually seek that out when they look into city life. So if you like big cities, Jacksonville has a lot of big city vibes. Undisputable. But Miami is synonymous with vibes. It's really hard to go against Miami when you talk about vibes, culture. It is really unrivaled. It is in fact a beta plus city on par with places that are international centers of commerce and culture and music. People don't go to Jacksonville on vacation. For the most part, when people think about a dream vacation, they're thinking about Miami. Artists from Chicago and Memphis and even Jacksonville have to go to Miami to record their music videos. Undoubtedly, Miami, Los Angeles, New York, these are international cities, and it's really hard to compare little old Jacksonville to a place like Miami when it comes to vibes. If you're into the slower paced life, you don't like all the drama, you don't want to be on Instagram, then a slow, mellow place like Jacksonville works a whole lot better for you. And look, I'm not going to play favorites on this list. I'm going to look at both cities, compare both cities, and hurt feelings on both sides. There's a very deeply rooted rivalry between these cities that even goes into the prison system. So this is a very difficult topic to compare these two Florida cities since they are competing rival cities in every aspect. Let's talk about downtowns. Miami's downtown is the third largest skyline in the entire country, with only Chicago and New York having more skyscrapers. And that is okay because sometimes what small cities miss in skyscrapers and volume of big buildings, they can make up in character. Unfortunately, downtown Jacksonville is pretty much a dead zone like every other city in the South. However, Miami's downtown is the heart of the city. To the east, you have beaches. To the north, you have Wynwood. And to the west, you have Little Havana. The entire downtown area is surrounded by other incredible areas. So when we talk about a downtown, again, Jacksonville just cannot compare, not only in volume and size, but also in the fiber itself of the place. Miami is considered the capital of Latin America, and you have Caribbean vibes and communities from Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and all of the other smaller islands. And each one of these communities brings their own music, their own culture, and their own vibes to the city of Miami. Now, if you don't care for all that reggae music and all that jumping around to 2 in the morning while I'm trying to sleep because I got to go to work the next day, the cost of living in Jacksonville makes all the difference in the world. Affordable housing means that you'll have free money to do things you like, save money for your future, and not have to live with worry. A little peace of mind comes from affordability. However, prices in Jacksonville are recently starting to skyrocket. People from Miami are some of the ones that are moving to Jacksonville, and with them, they're bringing the lack of affordability. Traffic is an area where Jacksonville absolutely wins. Miami metropolitan area has some of the worst traffic and population density in the entire country. If you don't like waiting at red lights, being stuck in heavy commutes, you will love the city of Jacksonville and hate the city of Miami. Many of the people who are leaving Miami and heading towards Jacksonville, their biggest complaints are traffic and cost of living. However, their biggest complaint about Jacksonville is that there is a higher crime rate. Now, on paper, that may seem a little surprising. Comparing both cities, they both appear to have about the same level of crime on paper. But in reality, Miami is a much safer place, much more tolerant of outsiders, much more welcoming to tourists, while Jacksonville is more of a locals-only type of place. Everybody in Miami came from somewhere else, so they're not possessive over the city. But the locals of Jacksonville feel like they're natives, and you're intruding in their territory when you move to their city. Recently, while recording in Jacksonville, I was chased by a vehicle. Crime is a huge concern in Jacksonville. In Miami, I've gone everywhere, even at night into the worst neighborhoods recording, and I've never had a problem. They're absolutely used to tourists. Crime in Miami is also different than crime in Jacksonville. Crime in Jacksonville is more gang and violent related. Crime in Miami is more fraud and scheme. Therefore, while the crime rates seem to be about the same, most people who get caught up in crime in Miami are at the nightclubs, the bars, out partying and drinking, where in Jacksonville, just going to a gas station can be really scary since the crime can be aimed at anyone. One of my favorite comedians, Cat Williams, has a skit where he's like, "Man, I went to a gas station in Jacksonville, and I was like, I didn't need gas that bad, 'cause it was scary." Now, Miami has plenty of scary neighborhoods too. But then there's the tourist route, and then there's the hood. In Miami, you have both. You have the tourist routes for tourists, and you have the hood for hood. But in Jacksonville, you just have the hood for hood rattery, baby. People in Jacksonville told me, oh, you missed the nice side. Go to Riverside. I went to Riverside. It's like a normal neighborhood next to some like really scary neighborhoods. Like a mile away, I was getting chased by a car. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys, my subscribers. Even in the worst parts of Miami, they're putting up these giant condos and they're gentrifying it. Because even like in the worst parts, like Little Haiti, they can put up condominiums and like the rich people can live side by side with the poor people. Because the poor people aren't going to stab them with a heroin needle. They might beg or something, but they're not going to stab them with heroin needles like they do in Jacksonville. Jacksonville, you just don't stab people with heroin needles. Come on, man. When it comes to suburbs, I'm going to give Jacksonville the win. Not because they're better, but because they're more of a traditional American suburb outside the city, less traffic. The suburbs in Miami are just as packed and chaotic as the city. They're just a little bit fancier. So when it comes to suburbs, wanting to get out of the city and commute into town and have like your Starbucks right there, I'm going to go ahead and give Jacksonville the win on having more traditional American suburbs. If I personally had to pick between living in Jacksonville or Miami suburbs, I would personally probably enjoy living in Miami suburbs. I'll tell you, that is a very close call. If I can afford either one of those things, I would be happy either way. So I'm not talking down either one. But I'm going to go ahead and give Jacksonville the win for suburbs because there's just more traditional American suburbs. So the big question that looms is which of these two cities is the best? Jacksonville with their great beaches that are accessible, no traffic and affordability for the time being since it's getting more expensive, or Miami with its vibes, but traffic, congestion, and incredibly high cost of living. It comes down to what you personally want. But if I had to give this list a win, I don't want to hurt your feelings because I love both of these cities. But based on the metrics that we use on this channel to compare cities, the winner is freaking Miami, bro. ¿Cómo no va a ganar a city? ¿Estás loco? Yes, the people in Jacksonville say we're better because people from Miami are moving here. They're moving there because they can't afford Miami. If they were millionaires, they would never leave Miami. In fact, if you're a Jacksonville millionaire, you might move to Miami. Baseball players, football players, artists, and rich people move to Miami so they can have a freaking chicken cross the road and not a guy with a gun trying to carjack you. Unfortunately, Jacksonville has a long way to go, but it is one of the best up-and-coming cities. And Miami is going to struggle with the affordability, but that affordability is actually going to keep all the poor hood rat people out of Miami and continue to make it a safer place. That's the truth, y'all. Did a Tampa versus Orlando, and Orlando won because it's a faster growing, nicer city. The people of Tampa, here's what they heard. I hate Tampa. I hate Tampa. I never said I hated Tampa, okay? I just said Orlando was a better place to move to. And in this video, I'm not saying, I hate Jacksonville. No. So if you're from Jacksonville, I don't hate your city. I have to pick one or the other. And on our YouTube channel, we also did a online request for you guys to poll which city was better. And according to you guys, Miami's better either way. So that's how that goes. Do I hate Tampa because I said Orlando's better? I didn't. I've never said I hate Tampa. I've never even said that many bad things about Tampa, okay? Other than, like, you might get stabbed in the neck by a... Same thing about Jacksonville, basically. But that doesn't exactly mean I hate your city. Come on, bro. You know that's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth. And I know that this feud between Miami and Jacksonville is a serious one. So don't make any accusations. Checking out. I hope you guys like this video. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions.